Hi everyone, welcome to the first episode of the Hearts Art Therapy YouTube channel. My name is Morgan, and I'm the creator of Hearts. And today I'd like to talk to you about self-care during the holidays. It's something that we all need more of and talk about a lot, but never get around to doing because we can't find the time. However, in doing just a few simple things, it will open up doors so that it seems like you have time for everything else in your life. Today we're going to be working with the mandala. Mandala is a Sanskrit word for a spiritual or geometric configuration of symbols in the Buddhist, Jainist, and Hindu religions, representing wholeness and the organizational structure of life itself. The mandala is like a cosmic diagram showing our relation to the infinite, a world that extends beyond and also lives within our minds and bodies. This is a mandala that I've been working on for about a week now. I find that mandalas are incredibly helpful for stress and anxiety. However, as I'm sitting here coloring in these tiny little lines, I oftentimes find myself wanting it to just be done already and wondering why the colors won't dry quick enough, or how can I just get through this? And I'm thinking about the end before I've even started. So one of the nice things about this meditative practice is that in doing so, you're kind of going through all these things that you think in your head all day long. You're like, damn, I just want to get this done, or man, just can't wait till this is finished, and rushing through it while not really being present and enjoying the process, which is something that I find myself doing a lot. So, to begin our practice, I've set up our space very nicely. I've brought a Christmas candle and some crystals to accompany us, and some Palo Santo wood, which I'm going to light now. Just to get some good sense going. And then I'm going to pick a passageway out of 1,000 Paths to Tranquility, and that'll be our quote for the day. True contentment is quiet. The harder you search for contentment, the less likely you are to find it. Life consists of a complex of opposites: birth and death, happiness and misery, day and night, good and evil. Gives us something to think about. So while we're going through this process today, mandalas can easily be drawn, or you can get these fancy little coloring books. I got this one at the dollar store. And just grab some markers, colored pencils, colored pens, kind of whatever you have handy. So I have this Sharpie set of fine pens. And then I also have a set of Crayola markers that I got at Michael's for 20 bucks. So I wanted to go with the rainbow color scheme because I was thinking about joy and happiness and bringing more love into my life throughout this holiday season, because oftentimes we can get so bogged down with the details and get so busy that I oftentimes forget to slow down and be grateful for the things that I do have. So I wanted it to be very colorful and very happy and very joyful. So as you can see, I'm almost done. So the last round of colors that I have to add are going to be pink. But you can pretty much pick and mix and match any type of color scheme that you like and make it your own. And while you're doing so, have a little fun with it. And the nice thing about mandalas is that they're circular, which there's no beginning and no end. And if you want, while you can create, you can put on your favorite music. Sometimes I like to be quiet though, because I like to be able to observe what happens while I'm in process. Sometimes it is nice though, especially with mandalas and meditative practices, to have some sort of meditation music going on in the background. Now, if any of you out there are like anything like me, if I go out of the lines a little bit, I generally tend to freak out and I want to throw everything away and just trash this and say it's garbage and I don't want to continue it. Which, if I'm being totally honest, I have done that a couple of times. And instead of just trashing the whole thing, I tried to start seeing the beauty in the imperfection. And if I went out of the lines, who cares? No one's grading me on this anyway. And the cool thing about these is that if you make a mistake, nobody's ever going to know anyway. There's no right or wrong way to do this. Just whatever freely flows out of you. And have a little fun with it. All right, looks like I have one more color to do. So I'll pick this dark one here. Oh, that's not the right one. Oh, these guys are tiny. So there's all sorts of things that are going on right now, not only just coloring, which a lot of people think is mindless or it's stupid to doodle, but working on hand-eye coordination for those of us who are working with our hands, or those of us who are so busy that we have a very hard time slowing down and focusing on the small things like the colors and the shapes. And sometimes it seems like a chore to just be able to sit down for just a minute and do something for yourself. But just remember, in doing so, you're opening up all sorts of other channels to be able to show up and be more present in the world when you start to notice things. And one of the things that I noticed as I was doing this is I was, making some mistakes, is like, I'm not perfect and that's okay. And that's a really hard place to come to. But it's also a really healthy place to come to. And that may take time with practice and awareness. But if you're not there yet, don't worry. It's a journey. Oh, went out of the lines a little bit there. But all these little awarenesses I find that pop into my head when I'm doing mandala work is like little life lessons that I need to say to myself in order to be nicer to myself. Ooh, 2 more to go. Sometimes I find that my hands are a little shaky because I'm so amped up, whether that's from work or too much coffee or just general stress and anxiety from the day. And the longer that you do this, or the more time that you allow, the smoother these become, the smoother the lines become. And it's also a practice in slowing down, which I oftentimes have a hard time doing. All right, and there we have it. She is complete. Thank you so much for joining me, and thank you so much for watching, and stay tuned for our next video on Hearts Art Therapy. Thank you so much, and happy holidays.